What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute, but we're just gonna jump in. I have been on a reading kick recently. I was in a bit of a reading slump earlier this year and have gotten out of it, and I'm so happy about it. I am just in love with reading right now, and I love that for me. So I just wanted to talk about a couple books I've read. A couple of them are like super popular, and I honestly had an aversion to reading them, but I'm like, let me give them a try. So I read a couple of training books, but the other ones are, I don't know, maybe you haven't heard of them, maybe you have, but they really impacted me this year and I can't wait to share. So we honestly just have 4 books, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible, and let's just jump into it. So our first one is called The Reformatory by Tanner Dew. If you've read this book, oh my God, let me know below because I'm looking to talk to people about this book. But honestly, one of the best books I've ever read, definitely one of the best books I've read this year. Reformatory by Tanner Dew. I don't have the physical copy because I had to return it to the library, but you guys, I wish I did have it because I literally would hug it. But check out my Goodreads review. I will leave it below, but I definitely will give this book 5 stars. Honestly, this is a must read for anyone in the US. But it makes me understand why book bans are happening, because they really don't want us to know the truth about what this country has done to its people. And yeah, so anyway, this book is called The Reformatory by Tanner Dew, like I said, and it's basically about a young boy. His name is Robert Stevens, Little Robbie, and he makes a bad choice, kind of makes a bad choice, and basically unfairly gets sent to this reform school. And the reform school is like juvenile detention center on steroids. It's a terrible place. It's a jail for kids, and they are completely exploited and treated in the most inhumane ways possible. This book is, I think you would categorize it as historical fiction, but it also is, I've seen it in the horror genre. So I'm not exactly sure where to place it, but I would say like historical fiction / horror. Because it is based on a true story, or based on the Doha School for Boys in Florida. But this school it was open for 100 years. There has been countless deaths of young children at this school, lots and lots of evidence and accounts of abuse, and you guys, it's just the most heartbreaking story ever. Honestly, it's just so heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, captivating, riveting, haunting, disgusting. I could not put this book down, and then there was times I had to put this down and like stay away from it because it got a little too heavy. It's very long. I listened to it and simultaneously read it, so I would just go back and forth. The audiobook was just as enjoyable as the actual physical copy, and yeah, I just highly recommend this book. I related so deeply to the daughter or the sister in this book, because yes, just being an older sister of a sibling who has been behind bars, it is a terrible experience. It's a really heartbreaking experience, and it's really something you don't really understand until you have that experience yourself. And yeah, I personally have, so I related to this story so much, and it's just infuriating what is allowed to happen, what has happened in this country. And this book really reminded me that the land remembers, whether they try to ban books, whether they try to change the story, make up lies, rewrite history, like the land remembers what happened, and the land knows the truth. And there's just so much truth to uncover in this world, especially in this nation, in the US. This country loves to hide history. So I really enjoyed this book, and honestly I haven't really read too much historical fiction, so it made me want to get into historical fiction. It was such a great way to learn about a real thing that happened, but like in a digestible way instead of just nonfiction. So I really enjoyed it. The author is also a granddaughter of I think it was the granddaughter of a boy who actually went there and was killed at this reform school. So it's super personal to the writer, and yeah, you can just feel it throughout the book. Like, I so recommend, if there's any book you're gonna read out of this video, it's this one. It's a must read. Yeah, it's a must read. It's a must read. And yeah, I so enjoyed this book, and it's such an important read. So Tanner Dew, The Reformatory. The next book I read, you guys, was Kiki Palmer, Mastering Me. I actually wish I would have pulled some quotes from this book because I didn't grab any. I don't know why, but Sorry guys, I'm not prepared. But I am such a Kiki fan. Like, I watched Kiki in Disney Channel when she was actually on YouTube making covers, way back in the day, like when YouTube first came out. I watched her, you know, just grow up, and to see her thriving, this child actress, to see her thriving and really getting like the spotlight 20 years later. I'm just so happy for her and really want to see her thriving. So I want to state that before I like give my opinion on the book, because I am a Kiki stan. Okay, I love me some Kiki, and I'm rooting for her. But I will say that I enjoyed this book. I finished it. It was an easy read. It was light. It was honestly a palate cleanser for me. And possibly my review could be like a little jaded because I don't know if I was necessarily in the mood to read a memoir, but it just came up on my Libby. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to read it because I only have 20 days for this hold. So I don't know if that played a part in it, but I do feel like I love memoirs. Like, memoirs are one of my favorite genres to read. But I feel like with Kiki, I feel like she dropped a lot of gems. I liked hearing her story more. But I feel like with the memoirs, you are expecting people to go really in depth in their like origin story, their coming of age story, their just journey. And I feel like she didn't really deliver on that. It was kind of just like these surface level things that she tackled, but I don't feel like we went like super deep. There were some things in there for sure. Like, there's even some trigger warnings with like child abuse and stuff like that that are in the book. But I feel like, yeah, I just feel like there wasn't enough, like we didn't go deep enough. And I also felt like I kind of understand why people wait to write their memoirs till later in life, because you just have more experience and more expertise and more wisdom. And I felt like the book felt like young, like I could tell that she was young. And then also like the cohesion. I don't really feel like the book was cohesive. Like, each chapter kind of just touched on different things. So those were like my critiques of the book. But overall, I enjoyed it, and there was definitely some quotes that I took to heart. And I am an aspiring actress, an aspiring entrepreneur. So there were things for me as an actress that I heard and appreciated. And just as an artist, I think it was a good book to listen to. But if you're looking to like develop your craft as an artist and your identity as an artist, I think it's a good book. But if you're looking to like just know more about Kiki in terms of a memoir, I don't know necessarily if you've learned like a whole bunch from this book. So I enjoyed it. I gave it a 3. Would I read it again? No. Would I recommend it? Probably not. But I did enjoy this book. And I do love me some Kiki, okay? So the last 2 books are a series. It was a duology, super, super popular. You guys know. I'm going to talk about this quickly because there's so many reviews on this book. But I read It Ends With Us and It Begins With Us. As soon as I finished this one, I picked up the other one. So that was fun because I hadn't read like a series in a while. Honestly, guys, I had an aversion to this book. I don't want to read it because I felt like everybody was reading it, and I'm not a huge like romance girl. I'm not really big into those books, but I just wanted like something different than what I was reading. So I picked it up. Actually found it at the like a little library by my house. And you guys, it was good. Like, I actually really enjoyed this book. It resonated, it triggered me. It was very revealing. I actually read these 2 books and watched Tell Me Lies on Hulu at the same time, and I feel like it like put me back into the Man Haters Club, because god dang, like the feminine rage that this book activated within me again was definitely kind of like jarring. Like, I knew the trigger warnings, but I don't know, I have my own experience with the toxic relationships and the domestic stuff, so it definitely was eye-opening and made me realize that I need to do healing within me and yeah, go deeper into my own story when it comes to that. So it definitely was an eye-opener. It definitely I was crying, and it was just relatable. Unfortunately, it was relatable, and it's really posed some questions for me about how are we protecting women? How are we cherishing women, how are we keeping women safe? It definitely is making me answer those kind of questions, or just ask myself those questions, and pose those questions to people around me. So I enjoyed this book. I feel like the hype was there. I actually just watched the movie last night, and it was good. I guess I could say some thoughts about the movie, or maybe not, honestly, because the controversy, I get it. The movie was good. I feel like the book was definitely better, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I get the hype, so maybe I won't be so, my aversion to TikTok trends in books won't be so high. But yeah, you guys, I guess I probably wouldn't even talk about It Starts With Us because they're one and the same, but those are all the thoughts I have on these books. The Reformatory was incredible, and I highly recommend. And yeah, let me know what you guys are reading. I'm creating my 2025 TBR now, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. But thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you soon in the next video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!